Hey, y'all. Oh, shoot. I spelled that incorrectly. I'm getting so tired. No, that's definitely not the reason. So y'all remember this happened a long time ago, right? And I had to make a new live. So what happened was YouTube gives you like an update. Like if you on live for too long or if you on YouTube for too long, it gives you a reminder to take a break. So when it gives you a reminder, it turns the whole live off. So I deleted YouTube and I re-downloaded YouTube yesterday. So, oh, sorry. I forgot to send it. I deleted YouTube and I re-downloaded YouTube yesterday. So, I guess it brought the reminder back on because I turned it off the first time. I hate when it does that because I'm almost done with my conversation. So we'll just title this one No Contact. You know? We'll title this conversation No Contact or something. And we'll make it short. For that reason. But I'm gonna go ahead and start keep going with this no contact conversation, and I'll start over since this is a new live. So right now we're talking about detoxing as a form of atonement. So atonement is you getting back in line with yourself and God in the direction that you want to go. And so one of the ways that you can detox is through no contact. But the problem with no contact is people think that you go no contact with a person or a place. YouTube said we have to detox. People think that you go no contact with a person or a place, and that means that you're going to stop having that emotional reaction. And the thing about it is that you're not just going no contact with a person in a place. You have to actually detox from the emotion that that person in place had you processing and presenting and giving off, because we talked about different organ systems that's related to a spiritual reason and metaphysical things, as well as those organ systems are related to your emotions. So if you want to overcome your emotions, you have to support your organ systems through detoxing, because our body are natural detoxing systems. They detox on their own. So if you are going no contact with somebody, no, it's not just the fact that you have to cut people off and stop talking to them. You have to look at the emotion that you keep getting when you are with these people, because what happens is you're still holding on to that emotion. You're still holding on to that emotion, so you keep re-manifesting it in different environments with different people. So it's the same spirit, but with different people. So you have to learn how to support your organ systems through detoxing. That does not mean you go and you get an actual commercial detox thing, right? You have to actually process through your emotions, because you will be getting re-triggered through old wounds if you don't process it. And then guess what? You may have cut that one person off and you went no contact with that one person, but you're still having the same emotional wounds pop up. You have to learn how to preserve your energy so you can heal and become whole again. And you have to see it as not punishment when you remove these things and these people from your life. It's a form of purifying so that you can remain whole and you can process these things wholly, right? Holy. So again, atonement is a daily thing that we have to do. Every single day we have to process through atonement. And when you think about detox as a lifestyle, think about it. Everything that they tell us that we have to do to stay healthy is a form of daily atonement. They tell you need to exercise. People don't want to exercise. But what is it? Exercise, it helps you with your lymphatic drainage. It helps you remove tissues, unnecessary tissues, right? They tell you need to hydrate. Drink your water. Drink some watermelon or some coconut juice, because those are the most hydrating things. People don't want to hydrate. They want to drink soda and pop all day. And what happens? Law of cause and effect. Your system will be affected by what you consume. You are under law. You have to sleep. They say you need 7 to 9 hours of sleep. What happens when you don't get sleep every day? Y'all make sure y'all like the live. What happens when you don't get sleep every day? People start hallucinating. They cannot perceive life correctly. They cannot focus correctly. Your system begins to literally constrict, die out, starts to have problems. Hi. You need to move every day. You're not moving, what's happening? When you do these everyday activities, these should become a ritual and a routine. It helps you to atone for the natural ways that we sin against ourselves. The natural ways against sin just means misalignment. The natural ways which we unalign to ourselves. You go and get sunlight. It helps you get into your natural rhythm. The body has a natural rhythm. When you go and get sunlight, it supports you in that natural rhythm. Exactly. Not enough of it was promoted. And I think it's because I feel like people talk about it. You know, you see signs every day and they tell you, eat your vegetables, do this, go exercise. But they don't really, people, when you don't explain something in somebody's language, it's hard for them to really want to do it. You know, it's like if you talk to a basketball player and you're trying to get them to do something, sometimes you have to talk about it in a basketball language for them to really comprehend and be like, okay, I'm about to do it, you know? Because everybody, even if you speak English, we all understand English differently. Hi. We all understand it differently, and we all have a different emotional reactions to different words. And I think that's with me being a Gemini is the master, what they say, master of all is the master of none. I don't know. It's a certain saying that they say about mastering things. But Gemini is definitely over language. And I always see Gemini as a translator. And I definitely love to be able to, the figurative language of comparing things so people can understand what I mean in translation. John said Rico can relate. Okay, so other ways that you can detoxify every day is through breath work. Resting from overstimulation. So that doesn't mean actually going to sleep, but just relaxing. Going no contact from toxic people. Remember, not just about going no contact, but it's about actually processing through those emotions that you received from those people who you've had to go no contact with. You can limit social media. I watched this video of this lady talking about how social media affected her. And she said that one of the reasons why she had to stop getting on social media is because she realized that she wasn't making decisions on her own. What was happening is she would see something on social media and that would make her choose to do something. So choosing a new recipe, choosing a place to eat, choosing a book to read. She was never making these, from what she said, she was never making these decisions on her own. She was only making these decisions based off of what social media suggested to her. So if you feel like you have a trouble making decisions for your life, get off social media. Like, take a break from these things if you're having these problems. Taking time to be silent and be by yourself is a form of detoxing. You addicted to social media, turn that phone off and go sit in a room for like 10 minutes by yourself silently. You know, think. Allow your mind to think and process. Individual targeted to groups. Yeah. You have to be emotionally honest. The first step to understanding is awareness. And if you are not aware, you cannot be clear, right? So that's what going in silence and solitude, that supports you in becoming aware. But then sitting and paying attention to your feelings. And I also, when I pay attention to feelings, this is how I become emotionally intelligent, right? You can feel something, but I like to notice, where do I feel it in my body? If you guys have my book on page 33, if you guys have a problem with emotional intelligence, page 33, get the book. It's in the description. In the description if you're on live currently, in the description if you're rewatching this. You Are Programmed, page 33, will teach you about emotional intelligence, and it's a whole journaling prompt that it'll lead you through so that you can become emotionally aware. And not just emotionally aware, but shift that emotion to a higher emotion, a higher frequency emotion. Not Tile Rob here. John's so famous. Hey, Tile. John, why you so famous? Coco said she or he, it says Coco Girl. So she had to uninstall all the apps from her phone. You feel bad being silent, but that brings strength to you. John's talking about he not famous. Okay, you not famous. Okay. So anywho, being by yourself, taking breaks from social media, stuff like that, it helps you to feel your emotions. And like I was just saying, you can feel emotions in different body parts. Y'all ever felt anxious and you felt it in your stomach? Or you felt sad and you felt your throat close up? Like you couldn't speak? Your throat chakra closed up. Or you felt some odd pain, but it's over here, right? John, get around YouTube. No, facts. So when you are going through these emotional issues, sometimes you have to feel, where do I feel it in my body? The emotions have direct relationships with our body. Like I one time had knee problems. What is the knee associated with? Ego and pride. Very prideful. High ego. Don't play with me. Did I have to process through it? I didn't want to. But I have to be honest with myself, because it was a direct situation that led to me having this problem. And what was that situation? It didn't, I'm not gonna lie, there was a little bit of ego, a little bit of pride. I was fucking with people, yeah. I said, don't play with me. My ego too big. And then guess what? I ended up having knee problems. Now, was it directly a physical reason? An emotional reason why I started having that problem? No, there was a physical situation that occurred that led me to having these issues. Y'all want to know the funny part about the physical problem? It was because I was wearing pants with heels, and the pants were very tight, and I had it was like a cut around the knee. So it was shifting my muscles when I was wearing heels. Did the doctors tell me that? No, I had to figure it out on my own. But I realized, okay, it was a physical issue, but then there was also an emotional issue. I don't typically wear heels and pants all the time. I've done it before, but the type of heel that I was wearing were very tiny heels. So the way that it was messing with the balls of my feet, like the ball of my feet, it affected it, So I had to sit in solitude and think to myself, because I had a lot of time to think, because it fucked my knee up for a long time. I had a lot of time to think and say, you know what? I have to be emotionally honest, So another thing that helps you with daily atonement is prayer or meditation, or both. Some people see prayer as a form of meditation. If you sit and you are intentionally praying, it helps you to atone. It helps you process through stuff, right? You can't be honest with nobody. Exactly. And then another thing that helps you with daily atonement is gratitude practices. Just sitting up here and being honest about what you're grateful for. You feel like, Pac, oh, John, don't say that. Y'all know I was just watching those the Diddy stories. I watched the whole series. So all of those forms of detoxing, all those forms of atonement helps you with both biological, so that means with your physical body, as well as emotional detoxing, right? Because when you detox biologically, it helps you process through emotions. When you detox emotionally, it helps you process biologically. Like they're intertwined, interconnected. So remember, y'all cannot use detoxing as a way for weight loss. Don't do it. Okay. If you want to lose weight, lifestyle changes are necessary. Because what is weight compared to spiritually? It's carrying baggage, right? It's carrying trauma, not processing through trauma. That's what weight is compared to. So if you want to lose weight, stop trying to do these commercial aid detoxes and actually start focusing on a lifestyle change through daily atonement to process through your sin and come back into atonement. This is not a religious channel for anybody who is new watching me. This is about aligning back to the divine, aka God, whether that is the God of this world, aka the sun, that has a direct effect on everything in this world, and we are under law, or the laws that even the sun is under as well, right? We have to follow these laws, which is our authority, in order to maintain our health and well-being in this lifetime. Just because you're healthy does not mean you're going to be rich. That's a different, we got to talk about willing our life at that point. But will and well are intertwined. And if you are not well, it hinders you from fully willing your life. What religion is this channel following? None. This is a spiritual channel. I'm a sage woman. I believe that all religions are created for moral authority. It's institutionalized for that exact reason, and it's giving directions, a physical book from most of all the religions. Most of them have a physical book that they abide for to maintain moral authority. What do I believe in exactly? Everything that I just said. The sun is the God of this world. Y'all want to know something I thought was so funny? So I was driving in this neighborhood. Hey, Trinidad, welcome back. I ain't seen you in a minute. Hi, Mr. His. Spiritual beings have a human experience. I was driving in this neighborhood and I thought it was so funny. Now, mind you, I'm not discrediting any religion. Please don't ever come on here and think that I'm discrediting any religion. If you have a religion, I respect all religions, right? That's you. That's your lifestyle, especially if you follow what your religion is saying. So I super respect any person who is morally right in those ways. Of course, Earth, you can ask any question. So I was driving by this sign and it said, Jesus is the reason for the seasons. Now, if y'all black and you grew up in a Baptist church, Jesus is the reason for the seasons. Yeah, yes, oh yes, he is. Don't have me singing, y'all. Oh yes, he is. Now, I grew up in a Baptist church, y'all. I don't have any thoughts of Islams and Muslims. I honestly don't. I was not raised around Islams and Muslims. I've never really studied the religion. I think it's pretty interesting how they wear the hijabs and stuff. I like it. You know, I wish that maybe if I could have was raised around that, I would, you know, it'd be really nice. It'd be cute. But no, you know. A mental detox? Okay, GR. Give me a second. Let me go back to the Jesus is the reason for the seasons. So if y'all watched the video, the first video that we talked about, what was the name of that video? What was the name of that video, y'all? So I can remember, just in case anybody else wants to go back and watch the video. What did we name it? So it was called They Lied About What Health Really Is. So if you watch that video, we talked about the sun. I went into a little bit of the symbolism in certain religions in the sun. And so if you know that Jesus is symbolized directly correlated to the physical sun. And I thought it was so funny how I never even processed it, how they say Jesus is the reason for the seasons. What else is the reason for seasons? The sun. I said that is so funny. I said I have to share that with somebody who would understand me. So I thought that was so funny because I never really processed that before until now. Y'all, mind you, my other live keeps saying that it's on live, but I'm not live. But last time what happened when it said that, you could still hear me, but I don't know how to turn it off. But when I turn this live off, maybe it will turn off the old live. I don't know. Anywho, I thought that was so hilarious. So, yeah. So this is just a spiritual channel. I believe that most things are figurative language and we personify a lot of things. And because of that, many humans have lost touch with the actual spiritual meanings of what people used to celebrate, if you understand what I mean. Again, I respect all religions. I just wish that more people could comprehend certain stories for what they really mean and not the surface level of what it's actually saying. People were commenting, yeah, I don't know. It's a glitch. YouTube needs to fix it. But hopefully when I end this live, it ends the last live as well. Now, GR, seeing you have a nice voice, Trinidad, y'all better stop. People always telling me I have a nice voice. Y'all know I have childhood trauma I be trying to get over. I be trying to tell y'all it's too much to get over trauma, y'all. So, GR, you said, can you give me a few simple steps to a mental detox, a recap, or a takeaway, possibly? So, with a lot of this stuff that we talked about today, I actually don't think I really touched on mental detoxing. The detoxing that I really touched on was physical and emotional detoxing. I think that with mental detoxing, a lot of thoughts come from emotional reactions. So I think that if you first focus on the emotions behind the thoughts and process through those emotions, it will support you in analyzing the thoughts. Now, let me try to think through this because I was not prepared to talk about mental detoxing. So let me try to think through it real quick. So with mental detox, or with the mental aspect of it, you're going to have thoughts, most likely ruminating thoughts. Hi, Edward. Same people won't be. Okay. With the mental, there's thoughts there, right? But behind the thoughts are emotions, of course. When it comes to mental detox, I feel like mental detoxing is very difficult because it is so surface level. It's so difficult to just be like, okay, how am I going to mentally detox? Oh, perfect. Journal. There you go. Boom. There you go. Journal. If you need to mentally detox, journal. Journal, video diaries. I'm glad that I thought through it because I was like, well, I don't even know what to say. Journal, video diaries, talk to a therapist. There you go. Mental health is really bad. Yours or other people? What you mean? Hey, Ahmed. Hi, Cooper. All right, Christian, no. I'm spiritual. Journal, talk to a friend, and not just any friend. Talk to someone who can really hold in what you're saying and respond to that. Because you'll have some friends and you'll be like, yeah, I just broke my leg, and they'll be like, damn, that's crazy. Or you'll have another friend who'll be like, you'll be like, yeah, I just broke my leg, and they'll be like, what happened? And then through that conversation, you can process your thoughts. No politics though. Trinidad says, spending time alone in the woods helped me get right. There you go. I love it. If y'all have any other mental detox suggestions, please go ahead and let GR know. So glad I thought about that because I was not prepared to answer that question today. I was like, what? But yeah. If you guys ever read the book, I have many ways. Where are we at? We talk about the power of journaling right here. The power of journaling. I know John know about being out in nature. John, tell us more. What else? We got the power of affirmations. That's another way of detoxing is affirmations and visualization. EFT tapping. That's a good way. Mental detox. Don't mind. I spilled some juice. But EFT tapping is another way of mental detoxing. It helps you shift through emotions. Mental detoxing, learning. So even through this conversation that we had today, learning new things can help you make better choices. And then you won't even want to think about those things. Beware of anyone you names themselves saying. Music. We talked about that. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Satan is just We can look at Satan as a symbolism, as anything that is hindering you from getting to alignment with the divine God and your goals. So if you have a goal to lose weight, lose 10 pounds by December 31st, Satan is that hamburger. Yep. Satan is a hamburger. And when you pick that hamburger up and put it towards your mouth, you are now Satan. Satanic experiences right there. Y'all, I just be talking sometimes. But yeah, y'all, that's really all that I have for y'all with this conversation today. I wish McDonald's, John hate McDonald's, y'all. Do not. That's another thing that is trending right now is the Grinch meal from McDonald's. I'm like, that's crazy. I keep seeing that all on my timeline as the Grinch meal. A man said, you reaching with that one. I mean, you ain't been in the conversation, so you don't understand where I'm coming from. You don't understand. You don't understand. There you go, Trinidad. Y'all, I be having the time of my life, though. I'll also say mental cleaning. Actually cleaning up. Cleaning up supports you mentally. If you, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, yesterday, I was like, I can't do it. And then when I cleaned up, I felt way better. Sweating, yep. Sweating helps mental, yep. Yes. GR, I can see you having a garage. Going to go organize that garage will help you mentally. I don't know if it's a backyard, a garage, or an in-house garage. I don't know. You tell me, GR, you got a garage? I feel like older people always got a garage. I can't think around clutter, yeah. Even if it's the smallest clutter, sometimes it can really hinder you. Like, even just going through, like, how we talked about the law of, what was it? The law of cause and effect and the law of conservation. Like, that physical clutter affects you mentally. And it causes you to have all these backed up emotions. Earth, why you want to see me without the glasses? Now, Earth, you better go look at my old pictures. Brush, fence, line, lots of work. What is that? Rico said, I got to clean up. I can't stand the mess. Hello, Kyle. Shout out to South Africa. Shout out to all my South Africans. I heard that going. I was watching. Now, mind you, am I truly psychic? I don't know. I was just making I was just seeing it in my mind. And I said, let me see. Clean out that garage. It's going to help you mentally. Thank you. Not good feng shui. It's not good for feng shui. That's another thing that can help you with mental detoxing is actually moving furniture around. And not in a fighting way. Don't move furniture around fighting now. A psycho, Trinidad? Did you spell that incorrectly? Or are you being for real? Anywho, actually moving furniture around. Like, once a year, like, even my bed used to be on the opposite way. Like, if you used to watch my old videos, and this is before I started doing these type of videos, but when I just used to only do my tarot, my bed used to be on the opposite side of my room. And my vanity used to be on the other side. I moved everything around. Hi. Charles Barkley be saying it's going to be some furniture moving. Yeah, so moving furniture around definitely helps the feng shui and helps with mental clarity. It helps you see stuff in a different perspective. Because I think I moved my furniture around last year around this time. I don't plan on moving it back around, though. I like it how it is. Trinidad said you were Aries. That's crazy. But yeah, like I said, law of cause and effect and law of compensation. So making room, clearing stuff out, donating stuff, perfect. And stop collecting. Remember what we talked about? Holding on to old stuff. It's hard for you to release. And the thing about it is, like I was saying, like, I can be very honest on here with y'all sometimes. But I used to have a dating lifestyle where people would buy me a lot of stuff. And I mean, I do have some of those stuff still, but like I had a TV that somebody had bought me. And I remember when my TV had just up and broke. It had broke right before, like the day I was supposed to go out of town on my birthday. And my TV had broke. And around that same time is when I started realizing something that I used to really like depend on people buying me stuff. Like, you know, instead of just being like, let me go get it myself, like I would be like, well, I can get somebody else to get it for me, you know? So around that time, I realized I just bought my own TV, and I was like, you know what? There's a different feeling when things in your home comes from you versus you having things in your life that come from somebody else. I'm not saying everything in my life came from somebody else. No, that's not what I'm saying whatsoever. But certain things in my life, and I realized, I mean, building your own foundation versus having somebody else build it for you. I don't know how can I really say this, because I don't know. You don't want everybody to get you everything, because then their energy is, you're constantly reacting to their energy. Every time I see something, I know this is not of me, this is of somebody else. Now, will I stop people from getting me stuff now? No. But at that time, I was in survival mode, and that's different from being in thriving mode. Receiving things in thriving mode is different from receiving things in surviving mode. So now I'm constantly reacting to things in the mindset of, oh, I got that in surviving mode. Now I'm constantly reacting to surviving and not thriving. So no, I'm not telling you don't let people buy you stuff. No, that's not what I'm saying whatsoever. I'm saying pay attention to what's in your environment, because you're constantly going to be reacting to it, whether you are conscious of it or not. And if it's reminding you of a timing in your life, now you'll maintain that. You'll stay stuck in that time, you know. When provoked, Trinidad, what are you talking about? Ban that guy? Ban what guy? Shut up. What are y'all talking about? Hey, Godson Bless. Hey, friend. What y'all talking about? I don't understand where we at right now. Charles Barkley is a clown. I don't really know who that is. You are right. Okay. Yeah. I read that. I hope I didn't. Okay. Let me look up who Charles Barkley is. I have an idea, but I don't know if that's really who he is. Y'all know what I've been calling December, though? Oh, yeah, I thought this. Okay, Charles Barkley. That's who I thought it was, but I don't really know much about him. Yeah, I'm hot. It's getting hot in here. Y'all, it's actually really warm outside, too. It's so sunny. I can't wait to go outside. So, anywho. Law of conservation, law of cause and effect. So, what was I about to tell y'all? I got to tell y'all something else. I guess not. So it's time to purge. Get rid of all the old stuff. Clean your house up. That's when I was very happy, because I got to do like a full like cleaning for my whole entire apartment around Thanksgiving break. And when I tell y'all, it gave me the ability to kind of reset, the reset that I needed. I was like, oh my God, thank God. Thank goodness gracious. And I still have stuff in the trunk I need to go donate. I got like a bag of clothes. What y'all got planned for today? Oh, yeah. Also, make sure y'all go and watch the last live. This is just the ending for this live. Make sure y'all watch the last live, because that's a lot to watch. And it still says we on live, so people can probably hear us, but it's no longer visually. You can no longer see it visually. A real life doll baby. Now Rico, not Rico, John. Why you keep comparing me to a doll? Maybe they need to make me into a doll. You two be hating. I don't know. I don't think it's hating this time. I think it's just a glitch. That's just what it is. I ain't gonna say they hating this time. Oh, so tomorrow the conversation will be about gravity, the law of gravity. This was an interesting one. I would like to first shout out to AI in the age of information that we are in. Shout out to the Aquarius people. I don't really see too many Aquarius people in the chat, but if you are an Aquarius, shout out to you, whether you are sun or moon, because it is your time. Shout out to AI, because I don't think that this information would be able, bye, Doll Sage. I don't think this information will be as accessible if it was not for AI. This information will take me years. I'm not gonna say years, but it may take me a long time to really put together. If it was not for AI, I can literally be like, give me this information. Give me Louise Hay, because I know these things, but now I don't have to remember everything and do the research for it. Shout out to AI. Tell me what Louise Hay compared this to. What is the law of cause and effect? What is etymology? Now I don't have to do the research. AI is here to do it. Is it gravity or magnetism? We're going to talk about gravity. Because one of the laws, so the reason why we're going to have this conversation is because we talk about the laws that we have to abide. And the sun has to abide by certain laws. And one of those laws is the law of gravity. So we're going to talk about that and how to atone for our sins with the law of gravity. So thank God for AI. Because who would really want to do all this research? Like in different places, not me. So now I can just look up the law of gravity. All I had to do was say, what laws does the sun abide by? And AI told me, shout out to ChatGPT. I don't have to do all the extraness. Because like, there's this one person, but is gravity really magnetism? I don't know. Let's ask AI. Let's ask Google Gemini. I don't use much of Google Gemini all the time, but I'm starting to use more and more of Google Gemini. Let's see. Is gravity magnetism? Even for my actual job, like AI has been like, I don't know how I would do my job without AI. Because like I like to make stories with my students' names in it because they just love seeing their names in stories, I'm telling you. So I make stories with their names in it, and then I put the story into Google Gemini, and I make Google Gemini give me a picture of the story so that they can get I make whole books for these kids. Y'all, I'm an author at this point. But anywho, no, gravity and magnetism are not the same thing. They are two fundamentally separate forces according to the standard model of physics, though they share some superficial similarities. So yeah. Ask Google Gemini, they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you what's tea. But y'all, I think that's all I got for y'all today. Just remember, if you're trying to detox, don't overwhelm your system. Support your system through detoxing. So let's do a little summary. Let's do a summary of how to support the system in detoxing. Let's see if ChatGPT will work quickly. Let's see, because my ChatGPT be going so slow on my computer. But when it's on my phone, it does not go slow. I don't understand it. Oh, that was another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about for next month. But I'll say it after I say this. So if you want to support your liver through detoxing, so if, let's say you have anger issues or you're dealing with lots of anger or resentment, Really for you too, Rico? That's crazy. Okay, so let's say you have a lot of anger, resentment, or frustration, emotional issues, and you want to support your liver, which is correlated to those emotions. With detoxing, you can drink warm water in the morning. You can drink bitter greens, which here's one. Suja. I don't know how you pronounce it. But this is definitely bitter green, or celery juice. It would be considered a bitter green. You can hydrate, you can do lots of movement, so exercising, and reduce alcohol and express your emotions, right? Not like lashing out, but cry, hit a pillow, who knows, whatever that's for you. Let's say you want to support your kidneys, which are correlated to fear, insecurity, and your ancestral wounds. You can also support your kidneys through hydration, mineral balance like sodium or potassium. You can support your kidneys through grounding practices. So go outside, touch grass, take your shoes off, take your socks off. You can do gentle stretching or reduce whatever is chronically stressing you out. If you have a problem with holding on to the past, or you want to support your calling, and what was the word, GR? Constipation. There it is. Let's say you have a lot of constipation. You have an issue emotionally with holding on to the past, which is what constipation is related to. You can eat fiber. That's one thing I forgot to mention. Fiber. You got to eat a lot of fiber food. Hydrate. Of course, hydration supports with everything. It helps everything flow better. You can have a regular meal pattern. So you eat every morning around the same time, every afternoon around the same time, every evening, right? John, don't laugh at me. Make sure if you want to support your calling and remove holding on to the past, that emotional stagnation that you may have with that, make sure you get morning sunlight before 10 o'clock in the morning. Go get that sunlight. Do some nervous system regulation techniques. So EFT tapping would be considered one. And also therapy or journaling. So those are going to support you in not holding on to the past. If you want to support your lungs in detoxing, which lungs are associated with grief, sadness, or suppressed emotions, you can do that by deep breathing. Do your breath work, y'all. Make sure you do your breath work, y'all. Walking, aerobic movement, being near trees or open air, which supports breathing. And y'all know trees is what is detoxing this air. So go to the detox source. And allowing emotional release. Let's say you want to support your skin in detoxing, which skin is associated with boundaries, identity, and visibility. You can support your skin through detoxing with hydration. Drink your water, drink your coconut milk, your watermelon juice, your celery juice. Those are some of the most hydrating juices to drink or fruits to eat. You need to make sure you are sleeping. So make sure you go to sleep on time and you getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Go to sleep every day at the same time if you having skin problems. And change your sheets. Sweating through movement. Gentle skincare, reducing inflammation. So if you eat an inflaming food like milk, reduce it. And have emotional boundaries. Stop over consuming other people's problems, because now you have skin problems. And then our last detoxing organ in our body is that lymphatic system, which is associated with emotional stagnation. So if you feel like you keep feeling the same emotion, you're ruminating on the same emotion, you can support this by walking, get them 10K steps in a day, stretching, rebounding, which I've never heard of rebounding before, but yoga, hydration, massage, and reduce long periods of sitting. So don't be sitting down all day. Go get you, I wish I had all of my other stuff that I use for lymphatic draining, but I have like little brushes and then a J roller. These is what's going to help you. And you have to move in a certain position to support lymphatic drainage. So do your research. So that is what I wanted to guys. That's what I wanted to let you guys know for if you wanted to overcome that. You wanted to support your body with detoxing. Now, the last thing I wanted to let you guys know before we get off of here today is, I don't know. I shifted the way I've been doing our lives if you were with me originally when we started with the money live, it was more gratitude. Money and the love and belonging were more gratitude like lives. And I've shifted to more informative lives and giving out information. Now, it's not a bad thing. You know, that's all about inner work. Gratitude is one thing that my channel is about. And then inner work is another thing. And to do inner work, you have to have the knowledge. So I think that me doing all this research has taken a lot of time from me. I literally do research like every day, y'all. I'm literally researching like every day. It's not all day, but I'll spend like an hour a day researching. It's a lot of work, okay? Just so I can be able to communicate these in a way that I understand to support your understanding, right? So I'm trying to figure out next month how I'm going to do it. I know that we're pretty early. We're just in the first week of December, but I've been thinking about how I'm going to be doing January's conversation. Will we be talking about emotional intelligence? Because I have the journal. Do I have it over here near me? I don't think I have it over here near me. Maybe it's down here. Yeah, I was not prepared to tell you this because I don't know where the journal is. It's not over here. Thank you, Rico. I don't have it over here, but I have my emotional intelligence gratitude journal, which we can do that next month. And I may be able to pop up on live more because gratitude journaling is simple. It's just having a conversation about something. Because I don't want to do research next month. I'm tired of researching. Y'all know I also go to school. It's so much work. So I just been thinking about it. And y'all be prepared for me to be asking y'all how y'all feel about next month's conversation. Because I think it's going to be more aligned with gratitude and not knowledge bearing, you know. So maybe my first thought is emotional intelligence, but I can always come up with gratitude prompts to have conversations about. So we'll see, okay? And maybe we'll do more knowledge bearing in a different way. We'll see. But that's all I have for you guys today. Detox every day. Support your body in detoxing. Thank you, John. John, is you're hell-bent on calling me baby doll. Okay. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I definitely will. And I'm about to go do all of my Sunday activities. I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. Bye. Or for all my people who love to hear me sing, bye.